Hello, everyone. Marty Becker here, owner and founder of Atlas Financial Strategies and creator of the Atlas Annuity Strategy. Today, I want to take you through something very, very important that most advisors do not talk about, because if most people knew about this, they would not stick with their current retirement plan, much less their current retirement advisor. And what's interesting is this video also answers the question, do annuities lock up my money? So what could be so important that I believe most people would change all of their retirement plans if they knew about it? Well, it's one of the 4 key indicators that measures the health of your retirement plan. So real quick disclaimer, as always, this video is for educational purposes only. I and Atlas Financial Strategies is an insurance licensed only advisor and agency. We do not provide investment, tax, or legal advice. The information provided in this video is no way a recommendation to buy, sell, or trade any securities products. Always check with a licensed securities advisor, tax, or legal professional for any personal advice in said areas. So, the 4 key indicators of your retirement plan. Number 1 is net worth. Everyone knows what this is. It's how much money do you have in your portfolio. Number 2 is a withdrawal rate. This is the one that gets talked about a lot, or at least it should. And this goes back to the old 4% rule that was never meant to be the rule. It was based on an article that William Benjamin wrote in a financial journal back in the early 90s after running his Monte Carlo simulations. Now, 4% has been the standard withdrawal rate for the past 30 years that most advisors recommend taking from your portfolio. However, there are a lot of really smart economists that say that's way too high these days due to the volatility of the stock market and a low interest rate environment, obviously with the exception of the past 12 to 18 months or so. The new withdrawal rate has now been advised to be set at anywhere from 2.5% to 3% per year. Number 3, your reliability of income. This one ties in directly with the withdrawal rate. So the 4% rule showed an approximate 90% reliability score back in the early 90s. That reliability has dropped significantly if you breach the 3% withdrawal rate about halfway through your retirement. Number 4, discretionary liquid assets. This is the big one that no one seems to be talking about. Now, I know I've mentioned this before in one of my other videos by pointing out the fact that just because you have a big pile of money does not mean you can just go spend it on whatever you want. When you're using a portfolio to provide retirement income, that money must stay put because it's there to produce the income you need to survive. Now, of course, you can move it to different investments, but what you cannot do is pull out a giant lump sum to take the whole family on vacation or pay cash for a boat or buy an RV, whatever you're into. It's already serving the purpose of creating income for living expenses. And this is a super important topic because the number one thing I hear about annuities from the people that are uneducated on the topic is annuities are going to lock up all my money. And they normally hear that from their advisors who are equally uneducated, but they also have a vested interest in them not moving their money. So at the end of the day, it's all about math and which strategy has the best outcome, the most safety and the most flexibility. So let's take a look at a case study to tie all this together. Here's a couple that is 67 and 65 years old, looking for a monthly income of $6,000 per month of spendable income after taxes. They currently have approximately $4,500 per month with Social Security and pensions. So they really only need about an extra $1,700 per month before taxes to hit their spendable goal. But that amount will start to grow rapidly, even with inflation set at only 2%. So they have over $900,000 in investable assets in a 60-40 portfolio, which in this simulation, I used a level 6% return for their equities and 3% for their fixed investments. So with that amount of money and such a small amount of additional income, they should be totally fine. And they would be totally fine. And I explained that to them by showing them what their net worth would look like. So the red line is what they are currently doing. And the green line is the Atlas Annuity Strategy. So you can see that even if they did nothing with me, they would still have plenty of money left over at age 100. And honestly, if net worth was the only key indicator for the health of a retirement plan, it probably wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to do this. But my job isn't to make them richer. It's to improve the overall retirement plan. And most of the time, more net worth isn't the answer. The answer is more guaranteed income. So let's look at the other three indicators to see if we can improve their outcome as well. Here's the reliability of income, which you can see is way better with the Atlas Annuity Strategy. With the annuities, the reliability never drops below 80%. And without the annuities, it never goes above 80%. That's a problem. Here's the other problem. Their withdrawal rate crosses that barrier of 3%, which is the purple line, and it has a direct correlation with their net worth dropping because they are now cannibalizing their assets. How did the discretionary liquid assets turn out? So what's interesting, what seems to be having the biggest impact on my clients is this graph right here. When they start to see visually how much of their money must be held hostage to produce the income they need, it's quite shocking. And again, the red line is their current plan, and the green line is the Atlas Annuity Strategy. With their current plan, they really only have liquidity with about a third of their money, and that only lasts a little over 10 years until they have zero liquidity. And after that, nothing. All of their net worth at that point is tied up to produce that income they need to survive as they start to withdraw more and more money to offset inflation. So why is this so much better with the Atlas Annuity Strategy? The reason is it only took about a third of their investable assets in annuities to create the income they wanted, and now the rest of the money is freed up to invest more aggressively or make major purchases. This right here is the key indicator that most people don't know about, and it is the key difference maker. And by knowing this, it allows my clients to make better decisions. So when their current advisor says something stupid like, oh, annuities are going to lock up all your money, they can say, no, actually, your plan locks up our money. Okay, so we're almost done here. One of the other trip points people have when it comes to funding annuities is FOMO, or the fear of missing out. When people see the stock market or even interest rates climbing, they have a sense of delusion that if they just wouldn't have funded that annuity, they would have a lot more money. This is completely false, and here's why. If you are using a managed portfolio for your retirement income needs, you have to be super conservative in your allocations between equities, stocks and mutual funds, and fixed investments, things like T-bills and bonds. Most people have something like a 60-40 or a 50-50 allocation. But when you have annuities protecting a portion of your guaranteed income, you could actually get more aggressive in your allocations, like an 80-20 portfolio. And what that type of allocation allows you to do is to catch more of the big gains in the good years while you're still protected in the bad years, because you don't have to withdraw as much money, or if any. from the portfolio because the annuity is supplying the income. Again, this is not investment advice to buy or sell any type of securities. This is for educational purposes only, but we can take a look at a real life example to see if the Atlas Annuity Strategy would actually help or hurt someone by securing their income and then getting more aggressive with the remaining portfolio. So let's take a look at two different scenarios. One with a negative sequence of returns, meaning early losses in retirement from the stock market, and we'll be using the returns of the S&P 500 from the year 2000 on. And the other using a positive sequence of returns, meaning early gains in the retirement, using the returns of the S&P 500 from the year 1995 on. Again, the red line is what they are doing currently with a 60-40 portfolio, and the green line is the Atlas Annuity Strategy, where they are using a portion of the assets for an income annuity, and the rest of the money is in an 80-20 portfolio. So you can see that even in a worst case scenario, everything turns out better. But what if my doomsday scenario doesn't happen? Are they missing out on gaining more wealth because their money is in the annuity? And the answer is no, not by a long shot. So even if they time the market perfectly, which no one can, including Warren Buffett, they still lose all discretionary liquid assets by the year 2040. And this is a best case scenario for someone with a managed portfolio for retirement. And not only that, but every other key indicator comes out looking better in the long run. You know, ladies and gentlemen, I know this is a lot of information in a short time, but I want everyone to realize this is a huge part of retirement planning that no one is talking about. So I like to keep these videos as short as possible so you can go back and watch them as many times as need it to help absorb this information. And even if it seems confusing at first, you can understand this stuff. Just remember, I'm a fireman and I figured this stuff out on my own. At the end of the day, it will finally click that there's nothing magical about this. It's just common sense math. So you can 100% take control of your retirement with confidence. Anyways, I really hope this helped and gave you some new insight on the key indicators to look for in your retirement planning and answer the question, do annuities lock up my money? If you'd like to book a short phone call and find out if the Atlas Annuity Strategy is right for you, please go to atlasannuity.com to find a convenient time. If for some reason the hours listed do not work, I'll do my best to accommodate you outside of business hours. All you have to do is send me an email at marty@atlasfinancialinc.com, or you can leave a message at 636-926-6500. Thank you again, and I wish you all the best in your financial education.